I threw out my 10 questions and told you my 10 questions I have for the 2023 Eagles. By the way, Keith Jones is going to join us. Hour number 3, the president, the brand new president of the Philadelphia Flyers. That'll be in hour 3 at 5:30. I know my friend Garry Cobb knows him very well. Gary's been talking sports forever in Philadelphia, and he joins us now here with Big Stills. I appreciate it. Surely you know Big Keith, right? Working over there with Keith.
Well, the big thing is, I know the Keith who was, on the radio talking and everything. See, now he's in a different position, So him being in a position, I don't know if you're going to get the Keith. You're going to get a guy who's got a lot of responsibility, and so we'll see. Because he's funny, man. He's always got the jokes and these different little rhymes and all kind of stuff. He's a lot of fun, but I don't know if you're going to get that Keith because he's got a lot on his back. When I came here, man, the Flyers, they had a following. I mean, really committed following, people who really were ready to go out on the ice and fight with them, These guys were gritty and tough, man. So I know that's what they want to get back to.
Garry, I know you got in politics a little bit, but did you ever think about getting into front offices, or did you ever think about going to work for like the Eagles or a team like that in the front office, scouting, or even coaching? Did it ever cross your mind?
Oh, yeah, it did. And I probably would have, but, I got an opportunity to jump in the media right away. If I had to do it again, I would have probably gotten in coaching because I could have always come back to media, But, and I enjoy it. And I play, I'm involved, like I'm in the locker room a lot of times. And, I work with a lot of players after they finish playing now. But, you love that. I mean, I love that locker room, You love the guys.
Here, Garry. Oh, I just know this. You don't really have to be that good of a coach to make a lot of money today. So maybe I would have did that too. You don't really have to be good.
No. Hey, if you get a couple guys, the thing is, if you get that quarterback, man, woo, he can cover up a lot of mistakes. If you got the right guy who's back there behind, center, or you could get a couple of players on the team that, you take the guys down there in Baltimore, their defense down in Baltimore with Ray Lewis and those guys, man. But it would have been fun. I can't, because I like being around the game now. I mean, when I could go over there now, start messing with guys, man, I barely know them, I could go in there, you go in the locker room, man, because you just remember so many jokes and things that guys have played all through the years, and different players remind you of a guy you played with. See,
hey Garry, that's funny you say that. Before we move on here, did you find that transition going into media? See, to me, I got in trouble because of some of the shit that I said on the air. Because I was still in the locker room mentality, and some of the things that you say in the locker room, you would never in a million years. Everyone's mom and uncle and grandma and everything, girlfriends and clothing and haircuts.
It's like everything is game. Yeah, everything
was on the line there, and you can't do that shit today, man.
I know.
And I think sometimes that's where I got in trouble, because I look over at that guy and go, hey, man, you think you could play pro sports? You need a Tokyo phone book to stand up and look a guy in the eye. That guy look at me and go, Tokyo phone book?
Yeah, it's different now, because of all of the, because there's so much media. I mean, they got the bright lights on them so much. But, when we played, you had a ball in the locker room because it was it stayed in the locker room.
Yeah.
But, if you don't, the great thing I liked it is, look, I don't care who you were. If you couldn't take a joke, then you got to get over it, because they're going to crack on you. I mean, the guy's going to say something about you, and if you don't like it, too bad.
Hey, man, you better toughen that skin up, man, because if they find out that you can't take it, they're going to jump on your ass even more.
That's right.
Hey, don't do anything stupid or say anything stupid, because those guys are like wolves, man. They see some dead animal on the road, they're gonna dive on this thing.
And they don't forget things either. Don't forget things.
I got 10 questions here for you that I put up here, and I want to ask you. Here's question 1. Will Jalen Hurts play 17 games in 2023?
You know, I hope he will, but I would say no. I mean, you know, they got to get him away from, he can't be running the ball as much. Cannot do that. You put everything on the line if you got him out there running the ball too much. And I would show him tape of Russell Wilson when he was up in Seattle. Russell Wilson's going to slide. He's not going for extra yardage. He will use his legs to take off, but he's not going to take any shots because he knows he's got to stay healthy. That's one of his jobs. And Jalen has got to look at it that way. They are not the same team if he's hurt. Come on. They're nowhere near being the same team. So he's got to stay healthy. And it's the one thing where if I had, you know, one bit of advice I would give is I would say, look, don't you run him too much. Don't you do that. You know.
Here's question 2. Will Hurts throw for 4K and 30 touchdowns this year?
I probably would say because
wow.
I think, you know, if they go the way I wanted to see them go, which is have them play from the pocket. Doggone, how is somebody going to cover all the guys they got? I mean, they got the run threat. You can't cover all these guys. You know, there's no way. I mean, and these guys are getting better. You know, these guys haven't even reached their peak when I think about the wide receivers, you know. And Goddard was hurt for a lot of the year last year. Come on.
I got a question.
You can't cover the receivers and Goddard, and now you got Swift coming out of the backfield. I'm telling you, that's too much. There's nobody can cover all those guys. So I would tell him, look, Jalen, we don't want you running. If you can stay in the pocket, let these guys do the work. Get the ball in their hands, like get the ball to Swift, because Swift he's terrible, man. Any linebackers get caught one-on-one on him, man. They're going to wind up, you know, on a highlight reel. So,
I think he's going to.
They got a lot of weapons.
I think they're going to improve the screen game here. With that being said, there you bring up the running back. Do you think that the Eagles will have a 1,000-yard rusher this year?
No.
So it's going to be more by committee.
It's going to be more by committee. I don't think Swift is a guy you can give the ball to. You're not going to give it to him as much as they did Miles last year. So you really have running back by committee. But the thing he gives you is he's a better pass catcher out of the backfield than Miles. He's much better. And you get him in open field, you got headaches. This kid is a game breaker. And so if they will just put the ball in the hands of their playmakers, that's the way they got to be thinking, and let them do it. Everything will flow, because there's no way they can cover all the people the Eagles have. And they still got that running game there, but they need to just not as much Jalen running the ball. Don't do it, because every time he touches it, it's a risk.
How about this?
He takes off. Yeah.
Will the Eagles have 3 pass catchers with 1,000 yards?
You know, I think they're going to get near it, but probably not. They're going to get
near it. If Goddard doesn't get hurt, Gary, he probably sniffing 1,000.
You know what? I think they're going to get very close to it. You know, the thing is, that means, you know, they could do it. There's no way, there's no reason they couldn't do this, because you're going to be picking your poison every time you play them. I mean, they got so much to throw at you,
and now adding Swift too. I mean, that's going to open those guys up more.
Now I think you make a good point, because there are going to be times when they have got to be thinking, screen. We cannot let this guy get out. And so he's another weapon.
Yeah,
he's the best pass catching running back that they've had here. I mean, he's better than the guys they've had, even though, you know, I think some of the, you know, youngsters are good, but Swift he is dynamite out of that backfield. You already got to worry about Goddard. You know, you got A.J. Brown, you know, you got Smith, Devontae Smith. There's no way. And then we haven't even talked about if Quez Watkins will play the way he's capable, play with more confidence. But I see a big year. I think they can really be so explosive. And I think Jalen is another year of all of the confidence building as well as seeing everything again. When a quarterback sees it, the more times he sees it, the quicker he is able to recognize things. So I just think that he will see things that much quicker this year.
Garry, do you think on defense they have 3 dudes with double-digit sack years?
No, I don't know about that. They may get near it because, you still got, Hassan Reddick. Okay, you still got him. Sweat, I think, coming on. You got both of those guys coming from outside. But I think that, you're going to get the young kid in there, so they're still going to be doing some rotation. So I think you get near that, but I don't know if they do 3. And that's all going to depend on the defensive coordinator. I mean, I like the way the dude talks. I mean, but I don't know what kind of defensive coordinator he's going to be. I went over there and I heard him talk and everything, but I don't know what kind of defensive coordinator he's going to be. So I think to say 3 over 10, that's a lot, man. But I definitely 2 over 10.
How about this, Garry?
But they'll be close to it.
One of the guys at the NovaCare Center, one of my spies, was listening to you and me talking. You know what he said to me? He goes, Sills, don't overcook it. Because I said something about Matt Patricia being brought in. And the first thing that this guy said to me was, he goes, well, let me ask you something. Are we playing the Dolphins this year? And I go, yeah. He goes, are we playing the Bills? He goes, I go, yeah. He goes, are we playing the Jets?
The Jets, yeah.
I go, yeah. And I go, we opening with the Patriots? I go, yeah. He goes, Howie Roseman brought in a hitman for the AFC East teams. And he goes, you're right on his disguises. Yeah. You're right on that. But here's a guy that's been game planning 18 years in that division. That hire looks even. He goes, everyone's missed it, Sills. Yeah. We brought him in because we're opening with New England and we're playing the AFC East this year. I mean, kind of makes sense now, right?
Hey, I've seen teams do that in the NFL. How much it benefited them from a standpoint, even doing things like signing a guy off of a team, guy that was on that team, they see he's out there, they grab him, and they want to pick his brain, So I definitely think he's got something he can add, information about all these teams. So I think he does bring something to the party, from that standpoint. Not to mention, the guy's been around a lot of winning. So
I think he's a hell of a coordinator. I mean, he's got 3 Super Bowl rings, and I think he's going to be an impact. Look, head coach, not everybody's made out to be a head football coach. I got another question. I got another question for you here. Who do you think has a bigger impact on the Philadelphia Eagle defense in 2023 between these 2 players, Jalen Carter or Jordan Davis?
Well, I'd probably say Jalen Carter.
Huh?
I probably would say him because I think he's made for the pro game. He's a better pass rusher. I don't know how Jalen's coming back and how they're going to utilize him. But Jalen Carter is a pro defensive tackle right now. He just has all the elements. Jordan Davis is developing. He can be a factor against the run, but his pass rushing, he's starting afresh. He didn't do much at Georgia, whereas I saw the quickness of Jalen Carter, man. Getting skinny, he already does that.
Great hips.
Yeah.
Great hips.
He's already got that. And a lot of times he's going to be one-on-one. Come on. They're not going to say, oh, man, they got all these other guys to worry about. Hey, we got to watch this rookie in the middle. No, they cannot be focused on him. So a lot of times he's going to be one-on-one, and I think he's going to get the chance to do some things. I'm really interested in seeing the progress that Jordan Davis makes, and he's been working with the coach, and they've been working with him and everything. Now, he's got a tremendous potential, but I think that Jalen Carter comes in. I've already seen him on tape make moves and have the explosiveness that's going to give a guy who's one-on-one with him, give him headaches. Plus, I've seen him run over people, and then you got to worry about a guy who's got the quickness to go around you, and he can run over you. You got to think about all that. That's a lot for an offensive guard or center to deal with.
That's going to be a formidable duo if those guys can put it all together here.
Yes.
2 last questions for you here. Who has a tougher task this year? Brian Johnson not screwing the offense up, or Sean Desai building the defense back up?
Now that is the question. I would go ahead and go with Desai having a tougher job, because Johnson has Nick Sirianni there. See, and Nick Sirianni already had a hand in everything, and he was overlooking everything. Yeah, he wasn't calling the plays, but he's there listening, and he knows what he wants. And this is his offense, really. So the orchestrator, really the designer of the offense, is still there, even though he's not calling the plays. He's still there. So I think there's an advantage there that and plus, he's not new. He's been there. He's been around when they were doing everything last year. So I think that he has more help. Desai, on the other hand, he's the guy running the show. I mean, he doesn't have somebody looking right over his shoulder that knows what he wants. It's going to be his call. And he's new to a lot of these guys, so he's got to find out and get a feel for them. Johnson was already there, so that's the advantage I think he has, is that the offensive coordinator has been there. He knows the quarterback. He knows what the quarterback likes, all of that. Whereas defensively, you got a guy that's new.
Let me tell all of you people here something here, that this question that I'm going to ask, and I don't even know if he had ever met him, but I had met him, and he lived in Stanford. And I'm going to ask you a question about Jim Brown. Mm-hmm. Who had a bigger impact in your life as an athlete, Jim Brown or Jackie Robinson? And by the way, folks, Gary and I lived in the same city with Jackie. My dad played golf with him.
Yeah,
you're you're a couple years older than me, so I'm sure when you were a kid and youth sports ran into
came to my little league banquet. I'm 10 years old, man. Come on.
I mean, Robustelli, and
I didn't know the significance.
Oh my God, Gary!
My dad's trying to tell me, but did I really know the significance? I got Jackie Robinson at my little league banquet.
Yeah, Gary, get this. My dad's playing golf with him at Hubbard Heights, right?
Mm-hmm.
And my dad goes like this. Hey, this guy's really, is what you'll know. And I looked the stats up. I go, guy had 100 home runs. He hit 298. Who the hell's this guy? And he goes, you'll know later on. Huh? And then, he had a really talk like, really high voice and all this and that.
Yep.
That silver hair.
He had the silver hair
fixture in Stanford, Pound Ridge, that whole area up there,
That's right.
But who had a bigger impact for you as an athlete growing up? Was it Jim Brown or was it Jackie?
Well, that's tough, man, because I remember my dad, I saw Jim Brown play some right at the end of his career. That's when I started looking at, football on TV. And I wore number 32 when I was playing in high school, because of Jim Brown, man. But I probably would say Jackie, because I met him.
Yeah,
I met him.
Me too.
This is during those early years.
Yeah.
Even though I met Jim too. That's really tough for me to say, because Jim Brown did so much when it came to not only playing and everything, but the way he left the game and went into acting, and he would come in and advise guys, and he always was really trying to help as many people as he could, to bring them along and get people to be the best they could be, whether they're athletes or not. So maybe I'd have to go ahead and change that and say Jim Brown, man, because I played football. I didn't go on and play in baseball. If I played baseball on the pro level and everything, yeah,
but
would have been JAKIB. But
you could have. And I'll tell you one last story before I let you go here.
I
don't think people realize me and Pazzulli looked up to this guy right here because Pazzulli played like 6-7 years in the NFL too, played with Catholic with me. And I go, who the hell is this Garry Cobb? He goes, the whole Cobb family. I mean, your brother, everybody. We're like, these guys own Stanford.
Yeah.
I mean, they own it. Hey, you ever see Cobb hit a home run? Guy knocked it over here. The guy did this. Guy hit 788. I'm going like, oh my, he went to USC? Me and Pazzulli, man, we looked up to you so much, man. I don't think you realize that, Garry. You really set the path for all of us because a lot of kids after you ended up going. Craig Bingham, all them guys, right?
Yeah.
All them guys would go on and play college ball and into the NFL because you set the path. And also Bobby V.
Yeah, that's right, Bobby V. Well, I mean, I appreciate that, and a lot of times you don't know who's watching when you're doing things. That is true, but I really
saw you play in the Babe Ruth League.
Yeah, and I always felt good about that. And I know when I would see people, and they had a connection with Stanford and everything. I really appreciate it because great baseball. I mean, great sports town, man. I mean, and a lot of good people. I really just
Mickey Leone.
Oh man, good people, man. Coach Leone. Oh man. Just great guys, and they were honest with you, and was set a great example. And man, I had a great time growing up, man, playing ball, man. That's why I'm here talking about it now, man.
What made the decision for you not to go to baseball? Because I tell everyone
USC, man.
Were you drafted?
Yeah, I was. But the big thing it was because when I went to USC. They had a great baseball program, but come on, it was nowhere near the football program. I mean, you couldn't go anywhere on the campus anywhere, man. You were a USC football player. It's a whole different thing, man.
And Mark McGuire and Tom Seaver played.
That's right. Yeah, they had all those guys.
Yep. Randy Johnson. Is Randy Johnson a Southern Cal guy too? Right?
No, he's not a Southern Cal guy, but they had a number of others. They had some good pitchers there and things. But
Jack Del Rio played.
Yep, Jack Del Rio, he played there. Yep, that's right.
Yeah, man, a lot of great baseball. Bobby V and all that. Hey, Garry, always great to catch up with you, my friend. I'll tell Keith you said hi. Thanks a lot, my friend.
All right, have a good one.
You got it, everyone. Thank you so much. Do me a favor. Please hit the like button. Keep it here on the National Football Show.